What's going on, Savages? Savage Motoring. We are in the shop today, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, but we have the shop now. So what's nice is I can fit cars in here. Lots of cars, and still close the garage door now that it's getting colder out. But that's not what today's video is about. I'll eventually do a shop update. For today's video, I wanted to give you a hardbody update because we're getting really close now. I'm getting pretty excited. Probably the most important update, I got a new oil filter housing. Old one right here, -10. New one is -12. Ordered it from Performance VH. Paid extra money for him to provide the oil filter housing because he requires you to send your stock one in for this service. But, you know, give him extra money for the core and he provides one. But because the new oil filter housing is -12 and the old one is -10, that means my oil lines won't fit anymore. So I'm going to need new fittings here and there and new hoses and whatnot. But not a big deal. Steering gearbox is spaced away from the frame exactly 2 inches. This isn't going to be the permanent setup. You can already see the issue right there with the wheels straight. It's kicked off over to the passenger side. So not ideal. However, we're going to have to run it like that for now. That's just kind of what I had to do because the motor's so wide. Could it have been done better? Yeah, sure. But the motor's where it's at. Everything lines up, you know, for the most part, and I'm not changing anything, so that's pretty much what we had to do. I'll end up doing a video on my whole steering setup, like what I had to do to get everything to work. That'll be its own separate video. I'm going to do a whole video specifically dedicated to my steering setup on here. So I do have my front end bolted on, not permanent. This is a placeholder. Obviously, I know this really chintzy 1-inch box tubing isn't going to do anything for me in an accident. But I needed to hold things like my oil filter and my radiator. Speaking of radiator, the stock Infinity Q45 radiator is bolted up. Only makes sense because I have the Infinity motor, Infinity radiator. Stock Infinity hoses are there. Nothing special about that. Belts are hooked up. Right now I'm just running the water pump on that one. Normally that would be water pump and power steering pump down there. Power steering pump didn't fit with my setup. So eventually I'm going to try to run either probably like a VQ power steering pump because I think those are pretty small. Or I'm just going to have to go with like one of the Volvo/Ford electric power steering pumps. I also have the stock belt and brackets and whatnot. No, I did not use the excessive manufacturing alternator relocation bracket. Didn't need it. I have like 1.5 inches between the alternator and the frame. And the motor is sitting pretty low. It's not like it's sitting up really high, so I could clear that. Like, that's right where I wanted it. If I had to get that bracket, I would have gotten it, but it didn't need it, so it's not on there. Fuel hoses, that's pretty self-explanatory. A lot of old Nissan stuff. You have in and out right here on the passenger side, so it's pretty easy to just hook up. Battery cables are done. That was pretty much just a mixture of the stock hardbody stuff and the stock Infinity stuff. And I think even some like random power wire I had from like some amp kits. I'm gonna end up building a little battery box tray thing right here out of some box tubing as well. Again, guys, this is temporary. I know, it's fucking horrible. If I get in an accident, I'm done skis. Just for you, my subscribers, I am getting on this cold concrete to show you there is a stock drive shaft in my truck. And that's hooked all the way up to the Z32 transmission up there. And don't mind the mess, but I have excessive manufacturing Z32 shifter bracket. I think that's made for like S chassis or some shit. It shortens it up, and that's like a Megan Racing short shifter. So basically what's left to get this thing running and driving, I need to finish up some of those welds on the firewall for my whole steering setup. I need to make new oil lines. I need to put a battery in here and build like a little battery tray area. Fluids, exhaust, and O2 sensors. Anyway, that's what we're looking right now, my dudes. I wanted to do just a super quick video. Normally I can go on and on and on rambling. I just wanted to get this out there. We're very close right now. I want to thank y'all for watching. I want to thank everyone for their support so far. Love you. Asa. Out.